also reports inheriting 2,604 road projects worth 14 trillion naira from the previous administration. And in January 2024, plans announced to construct, rehabilitate 5,500 kilometers of roads across Nigeria, with 50% of funds released for palliative projects. And then in February 2024, President Ahmed Tinubu approved 60 kilometers of concrete road technology for Abuja-Lokoja Road. Now, let's fast forward to March 2024, where the Minister Umahi announces engagement of competent contractors for road projects to reduce delays. And of course, April 2024, Lagos State Commissioner announces Third Mainland Bridge reopening on April 4th after repairs costing over 15.6 billion naira. Still with April 2024, contractor moves to site for Lagos Calabar Coastal Superhighway construction, and minister projects completion within 8 years, disputed by experts who estimate that it might just take nothing less than 20 years to construct such a road, talking about the coastal highway to stretch 700 kilometers, entering world record books. Now, according to the minister right there, the first phase has been completed, right? He says that the first phase of the project has been completed, and then of course they are looking at the other phase of the project to be completed right there. So there, and the first phase is covering about 47.47 kilometers with 5 lanes on each side and a train in the middle, right? 5 lanes on each side and a train in the middle. That is what is about the Lagos Calabar construction right there. And yes, finally, of course, to also bring to you that high-tech construction company is leading the project, which is established in 1988. That's when this construction company, which is domiciled in Nigeria, of course, would be that's the name of a company that's going to be handling that project. And just to also bring into your eardrums the fact that there are some critical concerns, and of course we would also be looking at some valued questions that may arise as a result of this topical issue. So I'd like to indulge you to conform your ears to basic information as we would be bringing our guest online at this point in time on phone call, just to have that conversation with him. Like I said earlier, is in the person of Mr. Olamilekan, right? And yes, Olamilekan Adefolarin, that's right. And he's a political economist, is a lead researcher and a policy analyst with Pole Echo Analytics, a think tank organization right there that looks into research, economic research organization that is based in Nigeria. But efforts are being made to connect with our guest at this point in time, but I wouldn't know, for some reason that is not happening, but we would do that when we can. But let's bring to you the fact that the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, has said that the administration of President Bola Tinubu is committed to construction of roads that will be durable as long as 50 years. And quite a number of persons have also been looking forward to that, as the federal government, promises Lagos Calabar Coastal Superhighway construction with concrete technology to drive investment and economic growth, right? And the first phase, completed within 3 weeks. That would be a fast one, if you ask me, costing over 1.06 trillion naira. Now, economic analysts projected a 50% increase in Lagos State economy due to connectivity to Lekki deep seaport, as well as industrial complexities, right? And then the Senate committee is expressing confidence in the project delivery by high-tech, construction company right there. Right, so that's what the Senate is also doing. They're expressing some very great, they're looking forward to it as much as possible. And there is also the matter that concerns the fact that coastal road is to pass through Lagos, right, as a state. It's also going to pass through Ogun State. It's going to pass through Ondo State. It's going to pass through Delta State. Yes, Delta State is one of the such states that would benefit from that. And of course, we'll be looking at Bayelsa State as well. It's going to pass through Bayelsa State, and it will pass through Cross River State, Akwa Ibom State. These are the states that this coastal road is going to pass through. And there are also matters that features two spurs linking the northern and southern Nigeria to enhance movement, right? Linking the northern and southern Nigeria to enhance movement. Now, let's get on to our guest now. Hello, Mr. Olamilekan. Are you there?
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Oh my goodness, feels good to have this conversation with you again, Mr. Olamilekan. Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now we're looking at the matter that concerns the, Abuja. I beg your pardon, the Lagos Calabar coastal, road lines, or super high coastal road lines, and there has been some concerns. One of such is the feasibility of the project. Another concern has been the part of funding. Another concern has been the contractor capability, talking about high-tech construction company handling such a monumental project effectively and efficiently, while environmental impact is one of such, social impact, transparency, integration, economic viability, maintenance, stakeholders, engagement, and all of that. And it has some implications. One of such is the fact that it will boost, economy, improve transportation, infrastructure, stimulate economic growth, and all of that. But let me just hear your thoughts on this very project, as it were, especially when you also look at the place of the 17-kilometer. What was that road again? That took almost 20 years. Talking about the third mainland bridge, 17-kilometer, took over almost 20 years, and now we are going to be having a 700-kilometer coastal road superhighway, right? Lagos to Calabar. And the minister is also saying that this is feasible, it is achievable, and is even saying that it can be done in 8 years of, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. What are your thoughts, on all of this?
I think these are very interesting projects for Nigeria, as you have rightly pointed out. It's a project that is going to affect the entire economy of the southwest, south, and including the north per se, because the linking road of about 9 states will also link up to the north at the end of the day. So it's a very big project, a very high dividend project that most Nigerians will look forward to for it to be completed. Now, as rightly pointed out, the fear is that, from the minister's angle is that this project can be completed at least by the second, if the President Tinubu gets to win his second term, that is by 4, that is 8 years to be completed. And the fear is that maybe because of the funding, the fear is about the project contractor handling it, and also the fear of whether corruption will set in.
Yeah.
These are well expressed fear, which nobody can deny. But the example you want to use is the second Niger bridge that took over 20 years.
Yes, second Niger bridge. Yes.
Exactly. If you look back into what happened to the second Niger bridge, you discover that the government at that time, the PDP government at that time, people with the desire to have that project completed during their tenure, but because of the politicization, the corruption that overtook the issue, make it worse. And I will write to record that, I remind most Nigerians that are listening to us that initially that project, that second Niger bridge, was a PPP project, whereby they were expecting private entity to join the government to build the bridge. At the end of the day, the private entity they were not interested at the end of the day, because most of those private entities were waiting for government to bring the money so that they can now concess it to them, and that didn't work. But the government have to go ahead and look for money from the Sukuk under the debt management office, as well as sovereign investment fund. If you know, there's an agency of government called Sovereign Wealth Authority. They manage some of the money that Nigeria has, some money kept away for certain investment for future.
Yeah.
So the government have to go to that agency and collect some billions of naira, and also from Sukuk to get some money so they can execute the second Niger bridge. And it took the Buhari government to do that deliberately, to score a big point and a big political point, get it, so that at that time, when Buhari was in government, many people say Buhari doesn't care for the Southeast, but he proved a point that really care for them. That's why he decided to make sure that that bridge was built under his tenure, and it was commissioned under his tenure. Even when people other government that seem to care for the Southeast fail to do the needful, Buhari do it in a way that at the end of the day, many people consider Buhari to be someone who was not just thinking good of the Southeast, but also make sure that something good like this could come to them in terms of the second Niger bridge. Now, concerning this current project that the Lagos Calabar Super Highway, is a gigantic project. It's a project that has two forms of transportation in one. We have a rail, we also have road transport. Now, the fear as expressed by many people are understandable, are appreciated, but for me, I don't think that fear should be taken too far, because what I see is that if the government is serious, if they are so concerned about the plight of Nigerians, the plight of road users, the plight of the transportation economy in Nigeria, definitely 8 years is not too far for them to complete.
8 years is not too far.
It is not too far. It's not too far. They have in other development claims.
Don't you think this might, because as some beginning to allay their fears? I mean, we've seen how projects have been underwent in the country, and many times it is usually left in shackles. Many times is left in abandonment with no continuity with incoming government and administration and all of that. Is it okay for us to begin to be hopeful to saying that this can be done in 8 years? Could this also mean that we are saying this on strong authority because the minister says that it's going to be a concrete proof, roadways, concrete proof? That's what he says. So it's not going to be the usual.
It's quite interesting that concrete is now becoming part and parcel of our road construction, engineering. Although it is not new, it has always been there. It's just that we have not made emphasis on contractors going into concrete road construction. We have seen it in the past, or that states are experimenting it. Now, the fear by people is that because we are so used to abandon projects, so nobody is thinking or rethinking that the current government or the current Minister of Works has a new thinking around how government contract is to be executed. And I give it to him, to his former governor of Ebonyi State, engineer David Umahi. He's bringing a new leaf into road construction in Nigeria, and project completion at the right time, based on design, based on procession, and based on funding. See, what we have suffered in the past is that most times when contracts are abandoned or projects are abandoned, it becomes a big burden on the government, to the point that government will have to pay triple or even 10 times of what it was initially agreed on when that project was conceived, when that project was given out. But with this new minister, he's thinking anew that with this kind of process that we have, we can get this thing done in 8 years. All he just needs is the support of everybody. First, the government of the day, the president, the ministers of finance, and everybody that is in charge. Then the state governors of those respective 9 states that road is going to follow through, the communities that those road is going to follow through, and the political party in power, as well as opposition. They must be able to give support to this project. If not, we are going to suffer what we suffered in the past. And the contractor also have a time frame to work. And although for the contractor, it's all about the money. If he gets his money on time, he will do the project as expected. Then we should also avoid politicization of this kind of project, because a lot of politicization affected most of the abandoned projects that you see. Take, for instance, the East-West Road that have been on construction for the past how many years? Also for more than 20 years. It is because of politicization. The people who started that project, some of them are dead right now. Some of them are no more even in the country. Some of them have made money from that project as a result of politicization. The Minister of Works, who have all participated in the procurement of that particular road, know what really happened to the road. Apart from the Niger Delta people who also ensure that that road become a conduit pipe for their leaders to be making money, harassing contractors on that road and making sure that that road is not completed, also are to be blamed for that. So I hope this will not happen to the Lagos Calabar Coastal High Superway, because I believe that with the current spirit that is in the heart, in the body of the Minister of Works, and the promise of the President that he will make sure that this is delivered, I just hope that nobody will distract them from getting to that end.
We're being very hopeful. And just to take off a leaf from yesterday's conversation, where we succinctly pointed out the fact that one of the triggers of inflation might be a road, right? And the minister has also come out to saying that yes, indeed, that roads is also a trigger adding to the inflation that we are facing in the country today, and hence his resolve to seeing that these roads are put in good shape and that there is more connectivity of states into various states and all of that, and that would lead for a seamless transaction between states, and as well as lead to the general development and prosperity of the nation. But then it is also very noteworthy to also look at past antecedents of David Umahi, even as governor of Ebonyi State at the time, as he had also seen to it that the roads network was something that was transformative. But then others have also come from the place that we are beginning to see having square heads, and square holes now, when we have an engineer who is indeed the minister for works, right, in that office. And it is a big thumbs up, to the, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration right there. In fact, many have also cited that this particular minister is one of those ministers, which of course, if you will count with the CBN governor, who are amongst others who are doing the needful to ensuring that this administration succeeds. But then let's also look at the fact of maintenance, right? And then apart from before maintenance, let's look at competence. Well, David Umahi had said that only competent contractors will henceforth be engaged in handling road projects across the country to reduce the incidence of delay in completion. Now, many are saying, I hope that this is not going to be another, bold statement that is not matched with action. And then another, very critical aspect would be the place of the third mainland bridge repairs, which, of course, the Lagos State Commissioner for Transportation, Oluwaseun Ositemi, has, said that the bridge will reopen on Thursday, the 4th of April, 2024. But then, it is also evident that the federal government has spent 15.6 billion naira in 6 years just to see that this bridge is being repaired. And then, of course, it will take 6 trillion naira in repair cost if further delay has been, administered on that bridge without having to put the repairs in. So there are two angles to this now. We're looking at the competency of the contractors, and we're also looking at the place of maintenance. What are your thoughts on this, though?
I think it's very important is that maintenance is very key. You can't construct a road and just abandon it and expect that the road will repair himself, the road will maintain itself, or the road will continue to be as good as when it was first built and commissioned. So we lack maintenance culture in this country. A lot of our infrastructure suffer decades. They suffer the obsoleteness and they suffer destruction as a result of poor maintenance culture. But we just hope that with the new sheriff in the Ministry of the Works and Housing, Works particularly, we can have a new relief in terms of maintenance. And this call out to FEMA, Federal Emergency Road Maintenance Agency. Yeah. So they have been lacking in behind. I can give you a typical example of one of the roads they are maintaining. Kefi Expressway, the Abuja Kefi Expressway. They will just come and do whatever they like, and at the end of the day, they will need, the problem they even have is that they will not come at the right time to go and come and maintain the road. They will come so late in the year, and they will do a shabby job, and they will go, and you hear billions of naira being spent. Now on the third mainland bridge in Lagos, we have known that bridge needs a adequate repair. It needs, a very serious repair that will bring it to the shape it was in the beginning. But because of shabby ways of doing the work, initially it was Federal Road Maintenance that was going there to do shabby work, and we know that the person that built the road is Julius Berger. So the question that we've been asked at that time was, why did they just leave it to Julius Berger to do the maintenance and recover the road back? But with what the minister is saying now, maybe we should take it from him that competent contractors will be the ones handling road construction in Nigeria, and it's a good one. And it also be a challenge to local road contractors, because most of our local road contractors are the ones that normally give us problem when it comes to road construction in Nigeria. They don't do road as expected, and so it's a call out to most of them that they need to sit up and ensure that they do the right job and they quote the right price for any road they want to do. I will have a plethora example of road constructed by local contractors that doesn't last. And most of them, they politicize and make sure that they get the contract, but they don't do the job as expected. But we hope that they will begin to learn and get their act together to fix roads. But road maintenance is a good way to go, so that we can stop spending billions of naira to recover roads that were destroyed because we didn't maintain them from the starting point of commissioning.
Yeah, well, some will say that as much as we are saying that those who are in the construction business in Nigeria have had some issues of not, getting into the process with the right material and all of that, as they have question marks, to their service delivery. Others are also coming from the place that it's time for us to begin to show some love, to Nigerian construction companies. And in that same light, it seems as though the minister is incorporating the services of high-tech construction company as the leading the project. Just to also let you know that this construction company has been seen from past antecedents to do well in their various projects and all of that, established in 1988. But then we'll get back to this conversation, Mr. Adefalari, and of course to you listening. We will go and pay some bills. When we come back, it will be more with the conversation, and then we open the phone lines officially so that you two can have your say, have your thoughts, tell us what you feel and how you feel about the Lagos Calabar superhighway coastal construction right there, and looking at the pros and cons. You can ask those questions, and let's see how we can drive that conversation, and of course reach a reasonable reasoning point at this time. But then let's go pay some bills. We'll be right back in a short bit.
No offense to the commercials. It's just that we want to see other audio. Eagles 102.3.
Hi there. Do you want to know how to get the correct approval or documents for your land and property? Do you need the right information on how you can prevent your building from being demolished? Then tune in to Town Planning Program on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja every Thursday by 5 p.m.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Abuja, get ready for a night of bliss with Bro Paul Igwe. A time of extraordinary encounter with the Spirit of the Living God, happening live on Friday, 5th April 2024 at Merit House, Maitama. Time 4 p.m. prompt. Don't miss this night of word, worship, the miraculous, where the glory and power of God shall be manifested, and anything is possible. There will be a definite blessing for everyone in attendance, something new and special just for you. For more inquiries, call the number 0816 553 2784. 0816 553 2784. Remember, One word from God will change your life forever. Powered by Christ Embassy Abuja Zone 1, immanent in Glory Group.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable. Eagles 102.3.
Welcome back. It is Eagles Outlook right here on Eagles 102.3 FM. Abuja, my name is Udwak Daniel, and yes, we are looking at the matter that concerns the Lagos Calabar super highway construction project. That's what we are looking at, and we're trying to sample that project as well as look at how we can also project the discourse towards seeing to it that all angles of this project are looked into, so that we don't get to hear matters that concern stories that will touch the heart later, and then we start hearing complaints here and there. We're joined in via phone call with our guest, who's in the person of Mr. Adefolari Olamilekon. He's a political economist, lead researcher, policy analyst, and Poleco Analytics, a think tank and economic research organization based in Nigeria. Mr. Olamilekon, I'm sure you're still there.
Yes, I'm here with you.
Right. So now let's look at the place of the issues that concern the fact that the minister had come out saying that there were some monies that is being owed, or rather there are some unfinished projects that the current administration has had to inherit, and many are now beginning to say that, look, we hope that this is not going to be another case of okay, my predecessor did not do well, or the one who I had collected power from did not do well. I have inherited so much, and so that would hamper, the job, that I am also meant to do. Do you find that as a disturbing, issue, or do you think it just might be a walk in the park?
I think the minister was quite quoted right when he said about their debt in the ministry, over 6 trillion or thereabouts, that the ministry is paying contractors. And we can understand why it happens that way. One of such issues that would have led to that high debt is the value of some of those contracts that the government gave to road contractors, particularly some years back. Take, for instance, the Abuja Lokoja Expressway is still ongoing today. Mm-hmm. The East-West Road is still ongoing. The Abuja Kaduna Kano Road is still ongoing.
Yeah.
The Abuja Lafia Makodi Expressway is still ongoing. Several kilometers of roads are ongoing projects, and most of them were not just projects that were given yesterday or day before yesterday. They were given 7, 10, 15 years ago. Particularly take a look at the Abuja Lokoja Expressway, that every time there's a portion that needs to be repaired, so contractor will reevaluate what they agree from the beginning, and when they reevaluate the cost, they will be using exchange rate to be calculating the road construction fee, and it jack it up. You get it? Mm-hmm. And across the country, that's what has been happening. And what do you And that's why I see that of recent they are not signing any new agreement of any road construction with anybody. Mm-hmm. Apart from the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway, they are not signing any agreement with anybody. Even the Lagos Ibadan Expressway is still ongoing, and the debt is still on that road. You see, so the Lagos Ibadan Ife Road was just completed recently. The one that will take you into Osun State from Osun State into Akure. I'm still expecting that the Akure Ife road will be expanded into 2 lane or thereabouts. Get it? So there are a lot of depth there, but we must understand that this all comes as a result of re-evaluation of government contracts, and which most times is a delay tactics when you don't give contractor money on time to do work.
Yeah, just to put it rightly, in September, that was last year, September 2023, the minister had reported inheriting 2,604 road projects worth 14 trillion naira from the previous administration. And then he had also recently decried, the state of progress for the Abuja-Lokoja road, and he had called, the parties involved, the construction company involved, to order, and had said, hey, it's time for you to look back and get back to work and get serious this time, as he had said he would not condone any sort of delays in the progress report. And this gives us a facelift and saying that maybe, just maybe, this might just be how a leader, should indeed act. This should be the body language. It should not just be words. It should be action, as he has also brought himself on site to seeing and supervising to ensure that what has been paid for, what has been projected in the books would be mounted as an edifice in the physical. But let's engage our listener right now. You also have a thought to share. You can bring that thought in, ask your questions, and let's have our guest react to it. And of course, allay your fears and concerns, on the matter. Number to call is 0907-353-0044. The other number is 0908-766-8888. WhatsApp portal number. Send a voice note. Send your message. Send a text message. 0909-705-4450. Taking this call now. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Dad.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes.
Naja is my name.
All right, Eldar Naja, welcome aboard. Let's have your take.
I think what Mahi is supposed to do for Nigeria is to complete the ongoing project. There's no country where they do superhighway for 8 years. More than 2,000 kilometers. I don't know, politicians are talking, they don't know, saying people on the ground and listen to them. How many bridges are you going to consult on that road? For 8 years, it's not possible. It's bridge in the water. If you want to construct a bridge, it's on rivers. That pillar, if you start pillar today, you bring pillar, you bring to the state. You have to live it for 3 months or 4 months before you can catch anything on top. You can't catch pillar today, go inside the river, and then you started digging it up. It's not possible. And that's the problem with this third mainland bridge. Third mainland bridge, where they start the foundation, those pillars there, that pillar there is sinking because the beggar never get time. During the meeting, they want that thing to complete. And that's why the beggar makes mistakes. That's why a year to year, they'll continue pumping lots of money there because of the foundation of the pillars. Now, they need new pillar. That's why they give that bill. So, if you mind, went to help Nigeria, all the ongoing projects make it completely for us. There's no country where they make a super highway for 8 years. How many bridges are you going to construct? How many kilometers? It's not possible. Even that 8 years from Lagos to Benin, it's not possible. It's not possible. It's not go and bring a project of Nigeria Highway. Put money there and then we not use this. You have start well. Let him complete the road project in Nigeria. From Makori to Bolafo, it's a world road. And then they give that road more than 25 years. Look at what you are saying. Lokoja to Abuja here. How many years? Kaduna, they never completed. Let him complete the road for us. Use the super highway first. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Elder Anaja, right there. All right. Complete the major highways first of all before jumping into mega super coastal roadways and giving tall promises. What's your reaction to that?
Hello?
Yeah, what's your reaction to that?
I think the caller made his point known that the government should concentrate on some roads. And we also need to also state here that the super highway is also important. Most of us understand how congested the Lagos-Ibadan expressways has become. Then we understand why the super highway, the Lagos Coastal Road, is very, very important for It's not just because it's going to serve people from Lagos. It's because it's going to serve 9 states that are suffering the overburden they normally face when they follow the Lagos to Ibadan expressway, leaving Lagos or going out of the southwest. That is the essence why super highway is coming. Yeah. And again, we must correct this impression. There is nothing that is not possible in 8 years. The suffering, well, as I earlier pointed out, and as you also highlighted, we have been so used to abandon projects. We have been so used to delay tactics by people in government. That's why most of us don't believe that something can be done within a time frame that has been fixed. The caller was talking about the bridge being pillar of bridge being constructed in 3 months. There are technology that are so advanced these days that you don't need to spend up to that 3 months to construct a pillar of a bridge in 3 months. How many of us have heard about a suspended bridge that was constructed in China, that was constructed in Mexico, that was also constructed in US? Suspended bridge without pillar, whatever that you can talk about. So the question is, are we going to be leaving behind because we have been so used to the dark days of abandoned project, the dark days of maladministration that doesn't give us the best in construction of roads in Nigeria? Then when we now have the opportunity to do it, then we begin to show revival. I think we should just show revival support and see how positive this can be for us in the nation. Although I also acknowledge that sometimes it becomes a conduit pipe for people in government to be putting their hand in public wealth to steal money. But I think we should show positivity in this one and call for accountability at the end of the day.
Let's save that thought right there, and also herald the numbers to call. 09073530044 is that number to call, and we have a call already. Let's take it. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my dear brother.
Yes, good morning.
This is Alami from Central. Yes, thank you. I agree that you have said it before. I'm a supporter of abandoned projects. I think it's one of the problems, that brought us to where we are now. When you have so much abandoned projects, the Surveyor Council of Nigeria gave a data that over 50,000 abandoned projects are littered across the country, valued at over 15 trillion. And those are one of the reasons why I give kudos to the Muhammadu Buhari's administration that focus more on completing all the projects before initiating new ones. And for the current administration, I also have to give them kudos. However, I think most of the time, we Nigerians, we depend more on, news, and inaccurate news from bloggers online, and not really assessing the true situation. Someone called and talked about local is being abandoned, and when there is ongoing, work on it, and that is the situation of the road, and it doesn't stop. So it doesn't. Once there is provision, for a project, you must not take action on others on the pretense or the reason that until this one is completed before. No, that is not how to spread development. It is only somebody that doesn't really know the economic impact of that major calabar road. When it is fully operational, it is only somebody that doesn't know, the economic opportunities that road linking the southern Nigeria, to the western Nigeria. It is only people that doesn't know the economic value that want to downplay that project. And I want to give kudos to the Minister Dave Umahi and the current administration for taking that bold initiative, because just like the second Niger bridge, that very project when completed is capable of revolutionizing, our economy in all ramifications.
All right, Alameen, for want of time, all right. Anyways, thank you, Alameen. You've said quite a lot, and yes, quite a number of things you've also highlighted right there. That we have, roads that maybe are not completed does not necessarily mean that we cannot bring, super mega roads, into construction. But then the fear still allays with the fact that, it seems as though we are always very quick to wanting to make a name every time, as the minister was also quoted to saying that if this road is completed, we might just enter the world record books among iconic coastal routes like the Wild Atlantic Highway in Ireland and the Pacific Coastal Highway in the United States and all of that. As flowery as this may sound, some are saying that this might just be another way for us to wanting to make a name, for an administration or for within the time that we have, sitting on a particular seat and all of that. But Mr. Adefolari, what's your reaction to this, though?
I will still repeat what I said earlier. In Nigeria, we are so used to abandoned projects. And the last caller before the first one, did a clarification and tried as much as possible to express it. It's an opinion linking his understanding to why he felt this kind of project and the government should be supported in this area, which is quite interesting and quite good for us to follow. But we must also say that what we are all calling for is a better governance in Nigeria, and that better governance desire transparency and accountability. Let's understand what the first caller was trying to point out. He on his own was like, this has happened, but we should do it better. But I am saying, what he's saying, that I think transparency and accountability be the base station of governance.
Transparency and accountability. I'm glad that you mentioned that already. But just before we jump into that, it is also very noteworthy to bring to your eardrums the fact that the first phase of the new 700-kilometer highway that will run through 9 coastal states is the 47.47 kilometer section beginning from Victoria Island, right? And now it has 5 lanes on each side of the dual carriageway, right? 5 lanes on each side of the dual carriageway and a train track in the middle. Now, this is talking about the 700 kilometers super highway construction, for the Lagos Calabar, road right there. Now, some, engineers who are also very, very respectable in Nigeria have also come out to saying that it might just be a pipe dream, to wanting to say that the completion of this road can be achieved within 8 years or even 10 years. In fact, they have projected about 20 years or more, right? But not to dwell on that. Their argument is that if 2 lanes, on each side, right, is being completed, firstly, that it would last Nigeria for the next 20 years and serve its purpose. That's what they are saying. Do you think that there is some truth or there's some sense in that regard?
I think those engineers, the whatever they have stated in their opinion is quite good, but we also need to recall that this project is a whole project. It's not a project that should be done in bit by bit.
Okay.
Now, a clerical example of how to understand how this road is going to be like is for those of us that are in Abuja to look at the airport expressway. I know you have passed through the airport expressway.
Yes.
You see the way the road was constructed. Now, if you're also someone that passed through the what do you call it, Kubwa Expressway, you see the way the road was constructed. 5 lane each.
Yes.
You get it?
Yes.
Yes, that is how that road is going to be like. With interchange at different sections. So if you are not saying they should just concentrate on the 2 lane or 3 lane or whatever, the goal of the road will not be achieved. The goal of the road is to decongest traffic, to make it easy for traffic to flow. I hope those engineers who are making such statements are in Abuja. They have used the Abuja Expressway. The airport road. They have used the Kuba Expressway. They have used the Nanyanya AAY Expressway and see how flexible, how flowing traffic is. That is what the goal of the super highway is all about. Then the train service in the middle is another added advantage to also decongest traffic, motor vehicle, automobile vehicle on that road, so that people who doesn't have vehicle can, or who have vehicle can use the train services all the way from Calabar to Bukot to Uyo to all part of the 9 states that cut across that road.
And the rest,
So that does the essence. So for me, I don't think being what they don't understand is that by the time the contract review will come in, government will be paying double, because the first agreement was the entire work, but now you are not saying they should concentrate on pulling.
Yeah,
so who will not bear the cost?
Yeah, for want of time, we should also learn the fact that in terms of governance and transparency, successful completion will demonstrate that the government's commitment to infrastructure development and transparency in project execution is indeed a priority. But then let's quickly hear from our caller, and then before we call it a close. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Doctor, good morning.
Yes, good morning, please. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Paul. I'm calling from Karu.
All right, Paul, I'm giving you 20 seconds. Let's ask your question for want of time.
I greet your guest. Doctor, you see, my own is just a little suggestion.
Yes.
Very wonderful and humongous project that will transform this country. But I wish government will also mobilize up to 80%. Mobilize these contractors up to 80%. So that even if you are not there, you don't need too much debt when it comes to contract review. Because the problem we have in this country is that these projects are abandoned at a particular level, and at every point in time, keep on going up. Once something goes up in this country, it doesn't come down. At the end of the day, when they have the contract review, they can't pay.
All right, Paul,
they can't pay. So government should mobilize up to 80%.
Yeah.
This project, and then see what will happen at the end of the day. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Paul. Well, it seems the minister had also come out to saying that the president had, given up to, if not more than 50%, for the projected completion of the roadway. So it behoves on the fast-paced nature of the construction company to ensuring that this is done, and as well, the first phase of the road has been completed within 3 weeks. First phase, right, costing over 1.6 trillion, 1.06 trillion naira, and there is also hopes that as these progresses, we would begin to have the gains on it. But then, Mr. Ade Folarin, in one sentence though, what economic value would this road completion give to Nigeria's economy?
I think, interestingly, it will add value to human transportation, it will add value to goods and service transportation, it will add value to domestic production.
Right.
Then it will also add value to the general economy of Nigeria. Just say, for instance, products that will be manufactured in Lagos zone, where we have a lot of manufacturing companies, and areas like in Calabar, Akwa Ibom, where we have resources that can also be transported to Lagos for more manufacturing or manufacturing per se. They will all be exchanged, and all the 9 states all together. Then all this will move and spread across to the north of Nigeria, central, and the rest of them. So it's a added value economic impact on transportation. We just need to support it and ensure that we call for accountability and transparency.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ade Folarin, for bringing your voice in the discourse this morning. You are a political economist, a lead research and policy analyst at Pole Echo Analytics, a think tank and economic research organization based in Abuja, Nigeria. Thank you for your time this time.
Thanks for having me, and have a great day ahead.
You too. All right, this is where we call it a close. Thank you for also adding your voice and bringing, it up close and personal, as well as having, to push for the frontiers of progress for our dear country, Nigeria. This is where we say bye-bye. Tomorrow is yet another time. Don't miss out. My name is Udwak Daniel, and I want to encourage you to continue to give us that support on Facebook as well as on our YouTube channel.